Hello, guys. We are live back again. Man United with yet another takeover as well. So this is probably about the fourth or the fifth one so far this week since the Glazer announced that they're looking to sell the club. So, guys, make sure you like and share and subscribing to the channel. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And as always, it's Solo here, and I'm joined by Pat. Sir, how are we doing?
I'm not bad, lads. It's Friday night. Cannot ask for anything better. Best day of the week.
You're on a roll, really, haven't you? Like, literally, I think it's like 3 days in a row now, man. Who's paying you?
It's actually my fourth night in a row.
Fourth night? Jesus.
Yeah. The only night I didn't do was Tuesday, I think it was.
Wow, Pat, man. How's the missus coping?
Yeah, this is the garage I'm in now, lads. So thanks very much for
that. Get the sleeping bag and the tent out. Brush, sir, long time no see. Apparently, Brush is in his mankini behind the scene.
Too sexy for camera. That's the problem.
Yeah, nice to be back, guys. It's been a little while.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And Mark, third time on the show now, sir. Welcome back. How you doing? Marked man as well.
It's early morning here and the World Cup's on, and you can probably see with the bags that are under my eyes and carrying some major luggage here. And Gareth Southgate, I tell you what, he tested me. That was wowee. Like, I don't know how everyone else feels. I'm not an England supporter, but I kind of have a soft spot for them. But wow, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Guys, before we are going to talk a little bit about it, and that's 95 minutes of my life I need back. That was worse than the interview that Ronaldo gave. That's how bad it was. I think substitution wise was really bad as well. I think Harry Maguire did okay. He won a lot of his duels today, I believe.
Didn't run into any goalposts, so he done all right.
At one point, it did hurt his arse, though. That's all I know. He fell awkwardly and he got up. Brush, how do you do? What do you think of the game as well?
The second half was proper dead, mate. I thought we had a lot of possession in the first half and didn't really do anything with it. The USA probably had the more clear-cut chances, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I thought USA hitting the post as well. I thought they were very unlucky today. I thought they were the better team. Both
I think we've been brought back down to earth, innit, after that Iran result.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Very true.
I've got to say, isn't it prior to the last game, or excluding the last game, England hadn't scored in 9 games or something like that, or several games. They'd struggled to score, and it was sort of like back to usual. And I've got to say, whenever I see Gareth Southgate's, I thought America, like Brush alluded to, I thought America had more patterns of play going into their final third that looked like they were going to score than England. England, it's always the same. Kick it down to the winger who squares the ball for the overlapping fullback on the halfway line. It's like it's the same over and over. And everyone knows what's going to happen before the game starts. America went, we know what they're going to do. So they just set up for it. And you're surprised that you don't score. Like, I mean, Gareth Southgate, honestly, reminds me of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Oi, take Ole out your mouth.
Yeah, oh, mate, honestly, it's the same setup. And it's like he builds a team to counterattack, and then he's coming into, he knows he's playing America and all these teams that are going to sit back and be happy to take a point, Wales. So he doesn't prepare to, actually, play football and actually score goals. He takes the same dead team and then you're surprised that you don't get a result. Like, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised last game. I was surprised. I'm sorry, England. I'm sorry to put the boot in. It's not England. England has an incredible group of players. Like, I've got to be my bond about this, actually. England has, they should win this.
How long have we got, Mark?
They could win the World Cup. They just needed to get in like Tuchel or the Argentinian guy from Spurs. His name's just gone right out of my head.
Pochettino.
Yeah, those guys would have had England winning this inside of a month. Tactically, they would have improved that squad that much. But got to have Southgate, Mr. Average. Anyway.
Well, we're after
Yeah.
waking a sleeping joint now, Errol. We're after upsetting him Monday.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
that's
Pat.
it.
And so, look, get off Harry's back.
Get off
He
Harry's
played
back.
okay.
He
Pick a
played
name
well.
out
He
of his
played. He
mouth.
did it right. He did it right. He did it right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go to our sponsor first. Pat, would you mind just reading it out, and then afterwards we're
indeed,
then
yeah.
gonna go through some of the comments, please. Yeah.
How do I hide that sponsor, Errol?
Oh, I'll do that. That's fine. There you go.
No problem. We are now sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. Global Mapping Surveys survey currently assists architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of surveys, such as topographical surveys, 3D laser scanners, and monitoring. The link is in the description below for the website and contact details. And they also offer assistance for helping England trying to find the back of the net.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, Pat, we're just going to kickstart from the top for a few comments. Just say hello to the people in the chat, guys. Remember, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're giving us a like, share, and subscribe. Do you want me to do it, Pat, or can you do it?
I don't mind doing it, whatever you want to do. Buddy.
Yeah, go on, you go.
Big up to Man United agenda. Bring on the Arab money. Hope they are similar to City's people and invest properly. Everyone smash that like. Big up Eddie.
Yo, Eddie.
Big up, Eddie.
England, this lot couldn't beat an egg, says Bill Baggio. Greetings, pal, and guys in the comments. England are outworked. Could be an issue going forward if they don't retain the ball better or continue to struggle to play it out. Wise words from Omundi. Hit that like button. Well said, Omundi. They are not great.
Yeah,
Ha ha ha. I didn't say that, Bill. But if they can change the gears, they will suffer. Hope you're all good, Bill. Question: best team you've seen so far, and who surprised you?
I'm gonna say probably I've got to say Iran and Saudi Arabia for me. Upsets. Yeah, that's me.
Japan.
Yeah, that's another one.
Beating the Germans. I actually think, look, to have England's back a bit here as an Australian, England, Australia, and America, kind of like the Three Musketeers, really, aren't we? Like, I think that a lot of teams are very gun shy after those big results, like Japan beating Germany, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. I think a lot of teams are gun shy, and we all know Gareth Southgate is sort of scared of his own shadow at the best of times when it comes to attacking football. So I think that doubled down, and teams are being very cautious. So that's why we're also seeing so many draws this World Cup, because there's an inordinately large amount of draws. So I think that all makes sense. And England will surely beat Wales. I mean, Wales is quite poor.
Sorry, carry on with this one. Pat, there's that one there. I'm going to fly through them. Just say hello to people.
Yeah, surprise team, America or Ecuador shocked me. They really can mix it. Pat, you're not watching the toy show. Tonight, lads, is the late toy show for all the kids tonight. This is what Rory's alluding to. We've seen that we woke the sleeping giant in a Monday giving out about that we're giving out about Harry Maguire. Ollie would do great with this England team. He would at least get the subs right. That's it. Get in there, Ollie. Ollie Gunnar Southgate. I can't take Southgate seriously since he done that advert with a pizza bag on his head. I thought this was about Man United.
Talk. Have you seen my message? I've sent you a message, bro.
It will be eventually, talk. The England hype train stalls. It hasn't did, Robbie.
Right. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, that was 8 minutes talking absolute rubbish about England and Gareth Southgate. So we are going to actually talk what we're here to talk about, and that's Manchester United been linked with yet another buyer. So what we're going to do, first of all, Pat's going to do some reading for us today about these Saudi Arabia investors. And excuse the pun, but if we don't get the name right, blame you on Pat.
Yeah. Thanks for putting the pressure on me now, all right? Well, Sky Sports have recently done an interview with Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Saud, right? This guy is an ex-former race car driver and businessman, and he also happens to be the Minister of Sport for Saudi Arabia. Now, this chap is only 39 years of age. So he's after being asked in the interview, what does he think of Manchester United and Liverpool being up for sale? Not only has he said, is his continent interested in buying Manchester United, they're interested in not just buying only Manchester United, but Liverpool as well. And they're considering weighing up the pros and cons. Is it profitable for them to do it? And it just makes me laugh. How much money do these guys have that they're not only considering to buy one club? It's like an episode of The Simpsons where they open the briefcase and go, "Yeah, we could buy Manchester United." And there's a bit of change left over to buy Liverpool as well. Well, we're at it.
Yeah. Brosh,
man went to the pub and woke up and pulled out his loose change. Went, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Brosh. Obviously you ain't been around for a while. Obviously the Ronaldo saga. We've gone through the Radcliffe saga, and now we're doing this whole thing with the Saudi. What's your thought process on Saudi? Because remember years ago when sort of a lot of people used to sit and go, "Oh, we don't want these oil money. We don't want this. We don't want that. We're Man United fans. We don't want someone from overseas coming in, taking over." We obviously had Glazer, who actually destroyed Manchester United. Do we have an option now, or do you have an option of who you'd want? Would you like these Saudi? And because for me, I'm going to say it. I know I've asked you the question. For me, I think they're probably more suited to take Man United than the other guys who are interested in them. But we'll go into more but first. But let's ask you the question about who would your preferred choice be?
Well, first and foremost, until we hear something more concrete, I'm not convinced that they actually want to sell up.
No. Journalists are just putting the word. Oh, they actually want to sell, Brush. Okay, all right, yeah.
Brush is a man. Brush is a man who wants to see the evidence.
The reason why his camera's off because he's sitting there with a big mystical hat on his head now. At the moment.
Honestly,
Mystic Meg
Solo.
Yeah, because the way they worded the initial statement, it's clear that they're looking for investors. They just want another patsy to come along and front up the money, basically. So if these leeches can stick around, they will. I think obviously they've seen what's gone over at FSG, and they see an opportunity, basically. So if there's a deal that comes along that's too good to turn down, then they'll take it. But make no mistake, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, and I don't think we're going to get rid of them soon.
With that statement, go on, Mark. You go, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say to you, Brush, don't be so disheartened, because those statements, as I understand, are pretty commonplace in the economic world, and basically they put them out as a matter of course for the business. So if they don't sell it, they don't look like fools. But when they do put those statements out, it is 100% their intention to try and sell the business. And I usually would say that by the time they put out those statements, they have some serious interest. So I would suspect we'd be sold by the summer, 100%. Like seriously.
Myself and Omundi were talking about this last night, and what we said was, there's obviously a lot of talk around the town for who's sniffing around Liverpool, and these lads have obviously got wind of that and realised that there's some serious potential buyers, and that's why they've jumped in and said, yeah, we're for sale as well. Hearing the kind of money that's probably being touted about for Liverpool at the moment, knowing that Manchester United is probably a better buy for somebody to invest in because of the size of our ground and the markets that we've been investing in over the years.
And also, I bet these guys in Saudi Arabia and Qatar are all like meeting every now and then, getting their Learjets over for a barbecue on the weekend, to each other's houses, palaces, I mean. And, there's a bit of that.
Taj Mahals.
Yeah, a bit of that demeasuring. Oh, you own Newcastle United. Wow. Yeah, I own Manchester United.
Yeah.
It's a bit of that going on, do you reckon? It's like, oh, which football team do you own?
Sniggering at your man over there. He owns PSG.
But with it as well, Brush, doesn't it feel, again, for me, I look at it as this is something that probably a lot of us would say, oh, because of the Ronaldo interview, this came out. But with it, I think Emma and FC United make some good points watching the show in the last couple of days regarding this is something that has been going on for such a long time, and right now in this point is the best time to sell Manchester United, because I believe the rumor is amongst the siblings that the Glazers family, if they sell it for a potential 500 billion, something like each of them will get 500 million each, Brush.
What?
Millionaire. Yep, they're millionaires. And some of them siblings we're talking about, like younger, some of the family members, younger one, cousins and nephews.
I mean, with the size of our club and the brand and everything, and also looking at Todd Bowley and what Chelsea went for in the summer, there's no doubt in my mind that these guys will be holding out for a record fee. With regards to Ronaldo, I think it's coincidental. I don't think this sale news has anything to do with him or the interview. It just sort of coincided.
But why would they put the club up for sale or let any people know that there is interest in the club being sold at the same time Liverpool are selling the club? That's the point that interests me, to be honest.
But I think that's basically it, though, Pat. I think they've seen, that there is an opportunity there basically to capitalize when they've seen the interest being drummed up by Liverpool, and they're like, hold on, all right, if people are interested in putting up such and such figure for those lot, why not for us?
Yeah, go on. You're going to say, before we go there, Mark, I just wanted to give this Jay a big shout out.
Yo, Jay, have the Glazers got our best interest at the forefront of any deal? My answer would be
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, you're saying there, Mark.
I was going to say the reason that the Glazers are selling now, there's multiple reasons. Ronaldo it's not a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences. Ronaldo's attacking them. Apparently, what I've been reading, and the rumors are that they're really angry about it, and that it did push them. But I for sure agree that them selling it has also been in the pipeworks for a long time. It might have pushed things along, but even more, as mitigating as Ronaldo's commentary on the Glazers' ownership is certainly the fact the World Cup's on, and it's a bit of an exciting moment in the Middle East, and a lot of very, very rich people are a bit excited about football, and some of them even support Manchester United. And it's an excellent time to shop window the club when the best price can be had. There's a lot of mitigating factors. Not all of them are data driven. A lot of them, can just be it's the right time with the right people who have money, And I didn't know Emma had a show, but I'll certainly be checking it out now that I know.
No, she's on the chat. Emma's in the chat talking about it. She came up with some good insight as well. So she did with FC United. Also, guys,
just one thing before you do. FC United Forever did come out and say that
check it out on the feed. Definitely need to check
in the comments from last night. If you want to have any insight, she is now our financial correspondent, because she knows so much. And she actually turned around and says that Manchester United is in a minimum of 1.5 billion debt. Now, for all the years, I thought you were in I thought you kept United at a steady 500 million in debt. I thought that was like the golden figure we were kept in for years. Now that might have changed in the last couple of years, but I thought that was the figure they kind of kept us at. But to say that they accelerated to 1.5, and now Ronaldo's gone, so it's just like it just feels now's the time for them to go.
They're weak. They're really weak.
Yeah. It's not a good time. The Super League didn't kick in. Ronaldo's gone. They're 1.5 million in debt. How much, like all the bad propaganda that circulates the club, how much longer can you put up with it for?
It's just too much. It's all just too much time to sell. Got to get out,
Yeah.
And I actually will disagree with you, Pat. Normally you talk complete sense, and I don't know if I'm right or you're wrong here, but I'll just offer this alternate view. And as a bit of hope for all of us United fans who've suffered for 17 years under the Glazers, albatrosses, is that for once I do believe our interests as fans and their interests in selling the club coincide with what will be best for all of us, because they're going to want the best price, which means the richest owner. So just their greed for once suits us. I mean, I actually am quite hopeful for once. I know we've been burned so often, and poor Brush, I feel you, mate. Like, it's just been torture under their stewardship or lack of it, lack of governance. That's awful. It's just been such a bad trot. But I actually think I'm really hopeful. I'm actually really excited. Many of the owners that are being put forward, they don't really suit me politically or as a man, like what I think it necessarily make good owners or good people all the time. But I certainly will be happy to spend some serious money, in the transfer window.
Do you think there's a growing trend, lads, that the American owners are now kind of dwindling out, and it seems to be the Saudis and are start coming in, and this is the next trend of club owners, and it's just taking its course. And the next thing I'll just put to that is, even though a lot of us don't want to see some of these people owned in our clubs because of the human rights and all the stuff that goes on in the country, is it going to become a stage where it's going to go out of our hands and we can't do anything about it? And this is the next shift in owners.
Yeah, Brush.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is we haven't really got a say in who comes and buys the club. So you know. And when we're talking billionaires and ethics, they're not things that go hand in hand. So you're kind of stuck with it. There's good and bad to the situation. I'm not sure who I would prefer really. Whoever comes in, I just hope they have.
I'm gonna ask a question, Brush. Come on, who your preferred would be if you have to?
See, for me, it's not just about the money though. I want people that come in who care about the club.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money spent for me. If we look at the money spent, even though it's our own money, we've spent $1 billion over the last 10 years. It's just been squandered with no structure or competent people in competent positions doing what they're supposed to do. Had it been spent properly, you know, we'd be in a much healthier position right now. So whoever comes in, I just need them to care about the club.
Yeah, TLC, and you're right with that, Brush, because like you said, it's not about who the richest is, it's who's going to do more. And for me, you know, there's other aspects and other people that I want to talk about who's coming in to buy the club. So it's a case of, could these Arab sort of guys come in and actually do what Man City have done and create jobs, create more infrastructure around Manchester to make it a bit more of a community? Because what the Glazers have done, they distanced themselves away from the real world and the real fans of Manchester United to suit their own pockets and their own greed. So like you said there, Brush, it's about someone who's going to have that TLC for Manchester United.
Yeah, with these billionaire owners, that is essentially what you get, though. They invest in the infrastructure, you know, all around, not just in the club, but, you know, the surrounding city and whatnot. So that's going to come with it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Any last words on that one for you, Mark?
Yeah, I think, you know, I would make the point that I don't think the owners, the Qataris, care at all for Manchester City, really. I don't think any of them support Manchester City. You know, let's face it, who supports Manchester City? Like, no one. And I think they've just got a lot of money, and money talks and BS walks. And when you got billions, serious billions, then you can come in and you can build incredible infrastructure. You can pay great wages. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes of that? You know, they don't care about bending the rules or whatever it takes to win. And I think, you know, that's the benefit of getting these owners. Like they are willing to do whatever it takes to win. There's a lot of, and maybe it comes down to personal pride. There can be a lot of motivating factors, but I think having the richest owners certainly does equate to giving yourself the best opportunity to get things right. I think Brush is right. It doesn't guarantee you good infrastructure, but it certainly helps you buy the best in class at any given time. So, you know, it can't hurt us. It can't be worse than the Glazers.
Also, with that as well, Pat, the guys who's trying to buy Man United at the moment, the rumor is they tried to buy Liverpool back in 2007 as well.
Right.
So they had obviously a failed bid there. But at the moment, sort of like when you look at sort of the Dubai investment capitals, it's almost like creating a portfolio at the moment there, aren't they? Because they're doing a bit more for football. Then they weren't into the sports that much, but all of a sudden now it's coming into. But I'm wondering, is there a particular statement, like a politician's statement, what's going on and why all of a sudden they're coming in and they're trying to buy all the English clubs? Because that's what it's looking like. They've got Newcastle. Yeah, go on.
Well, the Saudis, this one here, Abdulaziz just came from a Sky Sports interview. He was generally just having a conversation with them, and it was mentioned to him about Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United and Liverpool. And he just, in fairness, he answered the questions. He didn't actually sit down to decide to have a conversation or to explain himself why he was approaching Manchester United. So it was just a kind of, it's like, I'm going over here to Saudi Arabia. I'm going to ask this fella a few questions, and then I'm going to flood England with headlines on the back of all the questions that I've asked him. And that's the sense I get from it.
Yeah. So quick one, guys. We are going to take a little break there. We are going to read out our sponsorship. 23 watching at the moment. And if you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. Or if you're not new, just give us a like. And I'm going to be getting, if you wouldn't mind there, please.
GMS, Global Mapping Surveys. We are now sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. Global Maximum Surveys currently assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, monitoring. The link is in the description for the website and contact details below.
Right, so we are going to do this. And Brush, what phone have you got? Is it Android or Apple?
Android.
Android. Okay, because I'm going to drop something to you in a minute.
Okay.
Terrible phone you got. You better get a new phone. You need to get yourself an Apple phone, Brush. You need an Apple phone these days.
You need one of these apples.
Yeah, you need an Apple phone. Right, there we go. So for you, hold on. Oh, so what this was, yeah, Pat, they were saying in the comments here about you can't buy 2 clubs. So is it, hold on 1 second. So that's talk there. 1 second. We've done it already. Let's go here.
Okay.
I was just going to say about the 2 clubs, if you don't mind me jumping in, Solo. I understand that Apple are interested in buying us, and one of the rumoured reasons is because Qatar are interested in buying Manchester United, and the guy in Qatar is the biggest shareholder of Apple, and to avoid any conflict of interest, he wants to do it through Apple rather than himself. That's the talk. That's the rumour.
Like, yeah. Brush, whilst you're behind the scene in your mankini, you better start doing some research. Sorry, when you're ready, Pat. Sorry.
So just the words out of the Saudi Arabia Sports Minister, Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Faisal, says his government will definitely support a private sector bid if it was made for Manchester United and Liverpool. So he hasn't said there's a bid going for the 2 of them, but it's something they would look into.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Daniel Ramirez has said, must be nice to be a super billionaire. I'm sure it would be.
I'm sure it is. Give us a couple of pennies. We'll be right. We only need $1 million.
I'd be in that super chat every day, dropping a couple of quid. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind the Saudi family getting the club, but I do not want to be state-owned or company-owned.
There you go. I agree.
Sure, TalkMU, surely the same person or group cannot buy 2 Prem clubs.
Yeah,
there's always ways and means of doing anything when you have loads of money.
Look at the empty ad. They've been doing it with their sponsorships and everything for the last few years.
Yep. Matthew Bassett, big up everyone in the show and in the chat. Top man, Matt. Emma K, no one would want to put money into something that have been failing and then not be able to have control over it. It's going to be all or nothing. Jay, thanks. Have the Glazers got our best interest at the forefront of any deal? Mark will be put an answer to that. Stumpy Candletop, I put my bid in already. Good man, Stumpy.
This is what I wanted to do.
He's at the rattling Jim Ratcliffe with that he is.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Emma K, the reports where that banks thingies should look into the price and get ready for it. It's definitely just the best time for the reports to come out.
Yeah. And then
from Jay Tanky, great show, 3 nights in a row, technically a treble. Big up, Jay. Fair play to you, buddy.
Big up.
And Michael Christian, great.
Brilliant. So, right, guys, Vincent's in the building. Haven't seen Vincent for a while.
Vincent Bullock, no thank you to Saudi Arabia because I want to own Liverpool as well. I would prefer Apple to own us over Sir Jim Radcliffe.
So again, I think, like Mark just said it, apparently the Saudi guy owns shares in Apple. So, Brush, wait for it. Apple is worth 2 trillion. Yeah, 2 trillion. Is that it?
Close to what the Man United agenda's on, you know?
That's absolutely no money whatsoever. But Brush, according to reports, Apple could buy Man United and probably buy about another 2 clubs on the weekly money they earn.
Madness.
A week. So that is like, when you're trying to, like when you got a corner shop when you're a kid, innit? And you're sitting there going and you're trying to get all the coppers out your pocket and just pulling the coppers out, trying to get your like 50p to buy your sweet, yeah? That's just like, what, 5 billion? Yeah, just take it.
Light work.
Yeah.
Light work, Jesus. But with it though, Brush, like Apple having sort of that much money, would you want to see Apple take control of Manchester United?
Again,
it's
for
not something
me,
they would do.
for me, it just goes down to whoever comes in having the best interest of the club at heart. When you're talking about this kind of money, though, I don't even think they'll see the football club as, something to make a profit on. It's more so just an extension of their wealth than just an asset. So, they'll use it pretty much for marketing purposes.
Yeah, quick one as well. I'm going to ask Brush before I move on. Brush, with it as well, the rumor is as well, for Old Trafford right now, apparently it might take up to 7 to 8, is it 7 to 8 years to rebuild and restructure everything around Manchester United, according to reports. That's how bad Man United is.
Are you talking about the stadium and all of that?
The stadium, everything.
Yeah. And also, you're kind of limited as well with what you can do if you wanted to revamp Old Trafford as it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done.
Yeah. Mark,
what would you like me to add to?
Oh, sorry, we're saying about
ownership?
Apple and his Apple and their small change. They're buying us a 50p suite each for just us on the agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. Apple, the annual turnover out there is 300 billion, I believe. So, and their profit is around about $1 billion a day. So I think they can afford to buy us quite easily. And the big benefit for Apple, I think one of the big takeaways from them, sorry, the dawn sun is coming through unexpectedly. It's like I've been up quite a long time watching football this week. So anyway, I'm losing my marbles here. But I would suggest that technology companies aren't really in the business of buying other companies as a rule, although Apple did buy the headphones company. But as a rule, things, that hasn't been the way things are. But going forward, I've noticed that there's now Apple TV, and all these big companies now actually are service providers, and they have they need to have offerings for their channels. And Apple TV having a seat at the table for at the FA when it comes to selling the rights for the TV, et cetera, is exceedingly powerful. And transferring MUTV over to Apple TV would be a big coup for them. So Don't be at all surprised if this Apple rumor is completely true, and that the biggest shareholder, I think it's a Qatari guy, if he's really keen on pushing that through, as well. So he also owns Manchester United. So there's many motivating factors there. So yeah, I really see Apple as a definite potential owner. I don't think it would be a bad owner either, because I would say, regards sports washing, you're talking about a 300 billion turnover per annum. They're going to need to pay a lot of tax, and not paying tax is definitely their game. So I could see us in the summer, they're going to be going, who will we buy? Mbappe, Bellingham. They're going to go and spend incredible money.
Brush, you're smiling now, aren't you, Brush, behind that mask?
Not really. I feel a bit indifferent. I just want to wait to find out more.
Fair dues. Sorry, go on, Mark. Sorry, we interrupted you.
I mean, so I think that, forget Newcastle, forget a lot of these other owners. It's putting us in a whole nother bracket potentially. So, I see very positive. I actually think we're moving into a new period of, and I feel really positive about it. I think, I agree with Brush. Just wait and see. I mean, until it's signed, it hasn't happened. But I fully expect us to be sold by the summer, and I fully expect it to be, if not like the Saudis or Qatar, definitely a very large corporation. Wasn't it Microsoft that were interested in buying us when Sky were thinking about it?
I tried to do it as well,
yeah. So I very much see it as a possibility.
Cool. Pat, any final words on that before we go on to the next part we're going to be talking about? And I think Brush might be like this one. I think Brush might, but I know what Brush is like already with it. Brush is one of them guys. He likes to wait and see.
Yeah. He's gonna have to get his backside off the fence now and answer these. Come
on. Yeah. So right, guys. Couple of these comments, because obviously we were talking about Apple. So let's go
Yeah,
with
so-
Emma first.
Emma Kay, Vincent Bullock being owned by Apple would be some sports washing too. Hell to the no. Apple, no thanks from Box. Box, what does Silicon Valley know about running a football team? Rory, see it. Mad Apple cash in hand is 2 billion. It's like me having 200 quid and spending a fiver. If they want to, I'm more than happy for them to take over. Better than oil. Rory, see 200 billion, not 2. McKay, if you think Red Bull is bad owning football teams, then you should also think Apple doing it is too. Rory C. Apple also spends 1.5 billion a year in advertising. They could also save a lot of that by owning United. All of the players doing the promos and the logo on the shirt. United do get lots and lots of viewers.
Yeah, true. That's true as well, actually. It's sponsorship for the new shirt, Apple.
Yeah, Box, McKay, they'll have us playing on Mars. Move to Ireland, you get everything. Move to Ireland, you get everything tax-free in Ireland. You're not supposed to, but you still do. Matt Bassett, does it matter who owns the club as long as it runs the right direction and all the proposed new owners have certain issues? McKay, Matthew Bassett, yes, it does matter, like it has done for the past 17 years.
Yes, true. Very true.
Rory C. Matt Bassett would prefer a huge company or a massive billionaire rather than a petro state.
You know what? The more I'm seeing these comments, the more I'm torn now. I don't know what to do. I'm like with Box, with Brush at the moment. I'm torn. I don't know what to do.
Because on the one hand, you know, we'll be better off financially, but on the other, you know, we're just moving along to the next stage in soullessness in football.
Brush, man, why do you do this to me? You always change my mind whenever you know what I mean? It's almost Brush say something, I'd look at the comment and I go, oh, actually, Brush is making some sense there, you know? So, I don't know now.
Yeah, think about all the reasons you don't like Man City. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, I think you could make that argument, but also you could say Blackburn Rovers being sold off to the mill owner 200 years ago or whatever was exactly the same thing. It's always been on that road. It's depressing. I agree. I actually can't stand it. I'd prefer the club to be owned by the fans. But
them days are gone.
They're gone, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I mean, though, because, you know, I don't want to just see 11 world-class players brought for world record fees. I want us to be run properly. So whoever comes in, they need to be competent and run us as a football club.
Yeah, sure.
You know my issue with it as well. I don't know if anyone agrees with me here. And it would be very upsetting right now if we had a new owners come in and they've gone and do exactly what Chelsea done and got rid of the manager the minute they come in and they've got own plans and own way. I think with Eric Ten Hag and Brush, you're 100% right what you're saying about I don't want to see, because we talk about Mbappe coming to Man United. I would prefer Mbappe don't come to United at all. I'd rather us go out there and buy 3 young gems or produce 3 people from the academy and bring those 3 players through rather than going spending that much money on Mbappe.
And that's something that's always been in our DNA, bringing young players through the academy. And, you know, I'd be gutted if we lost that.
100% agree. And Man City now, where Man City have gone and PSG have gone down the road and buying, all of a sudden now they're reversing it where they're trying to bring youth through now as well. But we always have done that, so we need to continue to do that as a football club.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, just because I want that doesn't mean I'm opposed to any big name transfer coming in. It just needs to be a balance.
Yeah. No egos at the club. That's all we need. No egos. Right. We are going to go through some more comments quickly here. And what we're going to then do is we've done a bit about that. Let's get to the last few bits of the comments. So let's go here. And then what we're going to do then, we're going to talk a bit about Gapco for you, Brush, to get your take on it as well. And Depay.
Yeah, so Box, when we're taken over by Qataris, will the Old Trafford fans be wearing traditional Qatari attire? We all will. I'm sure you'll find somebody be wearing it.
Of course you will.
Bill Baggio, top man, how does all these billionaires help the football pyramid? If it keeps happening, then the Super League is just around the corner. Sure is,
agree.
but all these things will be over our control eventually.
And that's the issue. The Super League will be back in force. The minute these guys take over, that's the thing. The Super League will be bigger. And you got to think as well, if Qatar take over, I know Man City haven't done it yet, but what's the likelihood Man United going out there to play football?
McKay, Matthew Bassett, yeah, but if they do everything right, but to tear Old Trafford down just to get another toilet bowl in England, hell no.
Oh, wow.
That's actually one of my fears that you just touched on, Solo, the way things are going. We've seen how basketball and NFL games happen over here now. You know, in years to come, I think certain Premier League fixtures might happen abroad.
Yeah, and Bill Banjo says, brush your bang on, mate.
And that's the thing with it as well. I don't know what you think as well with that, Mark, because this is something that as a kid, remember growing up watching sort of, you know, when the Premier League first started and the whole thing with like teams playing in America, all over the world, even sort of like Man United, they always try to get the Man United fixture when we used to go on tour, like in America, Man United versus Liverpool, like the biggest game over there, Barcelona. And this we could be down the road for this as well.
I very much see that as a possibility. I agree with Brush. I think I see it as more of a possibility than the Super League. I think the Super League is a bit dead in the water. That's why the Glazers are getting out. If there was any hope of the Super League anytime soon, the Glazers would not be selling.
No.
You know, so I think that's just logical. On top of that, that does though make things like playing away games in Australia, for instance, very, very plausible. I do think that's possible. I do think you're looking at the future. And, of course, that would be great in one respect because the Man United agenda being the global channel would be at the forefront of that. So, you know, we'd be number one, of course, where we deserve to be.
Of course.
But, there's always a silver lining, Solo.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Pat, this question is for you.
Robbie Norman's after putting a couple of them gems in all night. He's asking, what does Pat think of the Billy Barry routine? Billy Barry kids are a dance act, and they're on the late show, so he's just dropping gems in. MK, we're already an established club. They don't need to do us like City, PSG, or Newcastle. Rory C, I don't want the fans involved at all. The same goes for the fans groups like MUST 1958. Us fans cannot agree on a thing. They just want to be there to be there.
Right. And guys, remember 27 in the chat as well. Yeah, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Remember, the minute this show is finished, there is a show on at 10 o'clock, the Friday Night Takeaway. It's weird because we're doing this show here and it's so late, and it's normally we're off already, letting you guys, lovely viewers, go sit down, you know, go for a cigarette if you smoke, have a quick drink if you needed one, you know, and then come back for the 10 o'clock show. But it's almost we're going to switch off here and go straight onto that as well. But before we do so, let's talk about it, Brush. I know you, again, I'm going to say you wait for the evidence and the actual information before you jump ahead. Gakpo replacing Ronaldo or Depay. What do you think about these rumors? Obviously, Depay is going to be on a free, and Gakpo would be paying some money for him. So, preference, or can you see this happening, or who would you prefer to see?
So with Gakpo, I mean, he's done himself no harm in this past week in the World Cup, so I'm sure his value's gone through the roof. Had it not before. I've seen bits and pieces of him this season, seeing as we're linked in the summer. For me, he reminded me of Rashford, and I didn't see him as an out-and-out striker. So I'm not too sure, but I know he's very talented and he's put up big numbers and that. He's only 23 years old. I think it's very price dependent for me, and if Ten Hag wants him or not. Yeah, I'd much rather prefer an out-and-out proper striker, but I don't think we will get that till the summer probably. So you're probably looking at a short-term solution in Jan. If
Depay.
That were to be Depay, I don't know. I mean, we were linked to Choupo-Moting the other week, so can't really complain about Depay, I suppose.
Yeah, true. Mark?
Depay, I sort of seem along the lines of the Ronaldo ex-girlfriend. Don't ever go back. I think Matt said that, and I completely agree. I don't want to, nah. I'm just nah. We keep getting in these stopgap players, and it never works out really. Like we had that guy from, we've had a bunch of them. we've had a bunch, and like I'm sort of past that. Gakpo really has impressed me. What I liked about Gakpo was his touch. Like he had really incredible touch. His crossing was amazing for such a big guy. And once he got his turn of speed up in the game the other night that I watched, he really was quite fast. He reminded me a bit of Patrick Kluivert or a young Harry Maguire, which I know is a big call. I'm not saying he's ever going to be that good. Maybe he is. But certainly his crossing and his touch and bringing other people into play, I can see that skill set converting to be very much a centre forward in the Kluivert Kane sort of mould. So I think he's a really good long-term prospect. But having said that, there's some really, really top draw prospects. And once we get sold, who knows where we'll be looking at in the market. But certainly I think we'll be stepping up a few rungs in the ladder. We've been down a long time, and I think Manchester United's going back to the top where we deserve to be, and we're going to have the power to bully small clubs like Liverpool and Newcastle and Manchester City for a long time. And I'm looking forward to it.
For me, you see, yes and no. The one player I want, unfortunately, is going to get at least a 6 months ban in the Premier League, and that's Ivan Toney. I'd absolutely love him at Man United, but listen, if he gets the ban now, hopefully by this summer, he'll be back and we can put in a nice little bid for him and get him, because I think he just reminds me of Andrew Cole, and I believe he could be the missing piece of this puzzle at Man United at the moment up front. Honestly think that. But
does
guys,
the attitude... sorry, well, you're about to close up.
No, Karen, you go.
I was just about to say, does the attitude and his off-field antics not concern you though, Sola?
I think if he moved to Manchester United... I think it could change, because remember when Andrew Cole was at Newcastle United, apparently his attitude outside the club, on and off the pitch, wasn't great. And he got to Old Trafford. Obviously, that was under Ferguson.
Yeah.
So, he ain't going to get with nothing.
It's a different era, though, isn't it? Like, this guy, like, he's disrespected Brentford on numerous occasions. There's been video clips that have come out. It's just conducted himself utterly unprofessionally. And then on the top of that, the gambling thing as well. And if you think that because we're a big club, he's going to respect us, well, that's not really the kind of attitude that I would like.
Yeah, I think something like...
But that could just be me nitpicking, Like, I don't have a problem with him on the field.
No, but you're right with what you're saying, because you don't want that distraction to come to the club, do you?
Yeah, because this is the thing. When Fergie was here, not only did we identify players by their skill levels, but he always asked and inquired, what's this person like?
Family.
What's their family like? Are they married? Are they settled down? What do they do on the weekend? And these things matter.
Rush, what do you do on the weekend?
I'll tell you what Fergie used to do on the weekend. Fergie used to go break up parties at 2 a.m. When Sharpie and Giggsy were living together. So, I think that's the kind of thing you need to avoid.
Yeah, the dinner lady used to sit there and grass them up as well. But guys, listen, make sure there's 23 people in the chat. Make sure you are tuning in. And remember, spot the ball. There is going to be a couple of element of surprises as from next week on the show. I think we've got a few bits and pieces coming up. If I'm right to say, spot the ball is going to change a little bit. And there's going to be a couple of giveaways and things like that going on as from next week. So keep an eye out on the channel, guys. And if you're not yet subscribe to the channel, please make sure you're hitting that like, share, and subscribe. Brush, so where can the beautiful people find you? Obviously, we know you're here, but you've been on here for ages. So
yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Brushy87, and outside of that, just here. If I'm not on stream, I'll be in the comments and that.
Brilliant. And my guy, all the way bright and early, getting eyes under his bag, his bags under his eyes, should I say? The cross between a Yapstam and Ten Hag.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, which I occasionally put something on. It's at Graham86023987. You can tell I cared a lot about choosing that name. I tell you though, guys, I am really concerned. I've got a question for our host before we sign out. Solo, I've been really worried. You've gone quite a few days. Has Fred being demoted to the bench for Brazil affected you? Are you a bit sad, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I saw it the other day. You know what it was as well with Fred? I watched them doing the photograph, the photo shoot, and basically Neymar meant to sit in a certain position, and Fred tried to sit there. And apart from, was it Alisson who tried to hold Fred so he didn't move? Every other teammate came up and literally picked him up and moved him off, man. It was upsetting. And now he literally hasn't played, but I think he'll be back for the next game, though. And Richarlison goal, poof,
Let me go throw rocks at all the houses I'm on, Errol. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go out there and break some doors down.
Yeah,
Where's
I don't
Fred?
think too many of us are expecting that from Richarlison.
Yeah.
What
I've got something to cheer you up because look, the rest of you may not know, but over here in Australia, Solo is the most famous Manchester United fan in the country, and so famous in fact that we made a drink.
Yeah.
We made a drink. That's how famous this man is in Australia. So there you go. Cheer up, Solo. Fred will be back.
Brilliant. Fred will be back. Right, guys, from us, please go 4 minutes ago. Please go and check out the takeaway from us tonight. Pat, Solo, Brush, Mark. Listen, guys, appreciate your company tonight. And from us, have a lovely evening. Good night.
Take care, all.
Bye.